He's a confident fighter.
Carl, the Truth Williams is still around, still hoping for a heavyweight title shot. In a decade of pro boxing, Williams has shown a variety of looks, mostly good, but sometimes not so good. Power has been there, 19 KOs and 25 wins. Here, Rodney Frazier was the victim. He's shown us different punches, like uppercuts. He used them to get Michael Rouse out of there. Tonight, he'll need that against Ossie Ocasio. And the Williams right hand has often been potent. Ask Marshall Tillman, he'll attest to that. And so will Jerry Jones, who went down in the first round. But Carl also has shown a propensity not to train too hard. And it was Carl who went down also in the first. And he tired badly. Ended up losing a 10-round decision to Jerry Jones. But in a sense, he's put that in perspective.
So let's talk then about the keys to victory in this one.
For Ocasio, I think he needs to change tempo, move in, move out, not give Williams a chance to hit him with the big right hand. Close fast. If in fact Williams isn't in the shape he should be, and he probably is in good shape, Ocasio is going to have to come on strong. For Williams, the jab is everything. And the uppercut, a very important punch, which he sometimes underuses.
Ocasio, not an easy man to get out of there. He has never been on the canvas, he says. So what's left then is to get on with it. This is our main event, and here's Michael Buck.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated, in association with the undisputed, undefeated king of beer, Budweiser, presents the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Board members Gary Shaw and Richard Harrison, Deputy Commissioners Lawrence Wallace and R. Yogi Hiltner. The three judges scoring this bout will be Frank Brunette, Richard Strange, and Al DeVito. Physicians in attendance, Dr. Frank B. Doggett, Dr. Stanley Eden, and Dr. Howard Taylor. The timekeeper is Lindsay Tucker. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Trump Taj Mahal on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 10 rounds of boxing. This is in the heavyweight division. The referee for this contest is Tony Orlando. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks and weighing in at 228 pounds, he's from San Juan, Puerto Rico, and brings a professional record of 23 victories, 11 defeats and 1 draw, 12 KOs to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the former cruiserweight champion of the world, Ossie Ocasio. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, his opponent wearing the white trunks with red trim, weighing an even 226 pounds, from White Plains, New York, he brings a professional record of 25-5, 19 KOs. He's one of the best-known heavyweights in the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl "The Truth" Williams.
Okay, gentlemen, I expect a clean professional fight. Listen to all my commands. You have any questions? Okay, good luck. Touch gloves. Go back to your corner.
Here's a look at Ossie Ocasio, and he says he's never been knocked down, but of course on his record he was knocked out by Larry Holmes, he was knocked out by John Gardner, he was knocked out by Michael Dokes, he was knocked out by Mike Tyson, and the list goes on. Here is the truth, and as we said, 226, he seems to be fit, and I really do hope he is.
Well, his weight is down from the last time we saw him. And I think that will speak well to his conditioning. There you look at the KOs. Ocasio, certainly not a big puncher.
I hasten to remind you, though, that he was 226 against Camille Odom also and ran out of gas in about the third round.
Step back, please. Step back. Good.
One of the things we have not mentioned yet, to my knowledge, or at least accentuated the point, that Ossie Ocasio, I mean, he has had a long layoff, not fighting since December of 1990 when he lost to Mike the Bounty Hunter, one of the true characters of the heavyweight division.
And in fact, he has only 17 fights in the last 11 years.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Lost by decision to Lennox Lewis, Bruce Seldon, Tyrell Biggs, Ray Mercer, all close fights. Did beat Pierre Kocher and then lost the decision to Pierre Kocher. And of course, when he was a cruiserweight, was TKO'd in the 11th round, as you mentioned, I think, by Evander Holyfield. And of course, he defies your often stated point that Sugar DeLeon has been the only cruiserweight champion in the history of that division.
That's true.
No, here's living proof. He was the cruiserweight champion.
That is true.
But maybe this proves your point.
He's up to battleship now, though, I'll tell you that.
There's the jab by Williams. You know, Carl Williams can make this a very tough fight, and in a sense already is doing that by staying on the inside so much with Ossie Ocasio. Ossie is a very, really a very ebullient guy who is very happy-go-lucky and has brought something to boxing. You know, you can kid around about him, but I remember him back when he fought Larry Holmes the first time out of the box in 1979. Nobody knew who he was, and he gave Larry Holmes a good battle at a time when Larry Holmes was at the top of his game.
Yeah, and in fact, he was a very good cruiserweight.
Extremely good. There's a right hand by Williams. If Williams can get the right hand in after the jab, he might be able to do away with Ocasio.
You know, the fact is, Carl Williams is a very, very talented fighter, and I think that's one of the reasons you and I have been a little bit hard on him on occasion, and I think one of the reasons, I speak for myself here, the guy does have immense talent, and you really want to see him give himself the best chance to win, and that's why I say I hope he's doing that tonight.
Even at this stage of his career, for some of the important losses. There you see the good jab, the double hook. Have to watch out for Ocasio's head on the inside. Good first round for Carl Williams.
Carl looking for one more big payday in the heavyweight division. Needless to say, would like to be champion again. So we head for the end of the first round, and it was an effective first round for Carl the Truth Williams. We'll be back.
Okay, so you thought Ossie Ocasio didn't land any punches in that first round? There's proof positive. He landed a left hand on the inside.
Interesting round from Williams. Williams is a guy who, in many cases, has just kind of gone for it. As you take a look at the numbers,
seven more in addition to that other one. Carl Williams having a very good first round.
Yeah, and he paced himself. It's interesting. Carl is a guy who really oftentimes will just look to get a man out of there as quickly as he can. And the reason for that is he's not always in great shape, by his own admission. But he paced himself pretty well, so maybe that is indicative of the fact that he has given himself a good chance here.
Now there's Ocasio working on the inside. He did that very effectively against Ray Mercer when I saw him box Mercer out in Las Vegas, which, contrary to what I said earlier, is not here. Here is Atlantic City. Vegas would be west of here. But Ocasio was able to get inside and just work hard on the inside.
Break! Let's go.
Both these guys who have been around the track.
Yeah, and we mentioned Ocasio fought Larry Holmes in 1979. Williams fighting him in 1985. And, it's pretty shocking when you think that Larry Holmes just had a heavyweight championship match.
That's right.
Still now. Do heavyweights ever retire?
Apparently not.
Used to be hockey goalies would play until they're about 63. Now it's heavyweight boxing.
Got on the seniors tour.
Right hand on the inside by Carl the Truth Williams. And Carl lays against the ropes here right above us. I wish you wouldn't do that.
I don't like that.
If they would break, we'd have 226 pounds right in our lap here.
We had the ropes break just a couple of years ago in Miles City, Montana.
I missed that one. It was a special experience. Huh?
Oh, it was wonderful.
Dave Bontempo were literally flattened, huh?
Keep your punches up. Let's go.
Isn't some great boxing. In fact, while we both of us are gone, Sam Rosen and Dave Bontempo are doing a great job of holding down the fort here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to be off for 6 weeks. What are you going to do with your summer vacation?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to got some appearances to make. In fact, this next week on August 26th, I'm going to be at that boxing match with Bug Smith on hand at the Colorado State Fair in Pueblo, Colorado. Be on hand to sign autographs for fans and greet them and chat with them, find out what they think, and tell them I know you personally.
I feel like Jay Leno all of a sudden.
When do I slip down to the end of the couch?
I know you have to leave, but so we come to the end of the second round. Carl the Truth Williams and Ossie Ocasio, and we'll be back. So we start the seventh round. We're going 10. the 6th round, Ocasio doing nothing, Williams effective. Williams able to take target practice here.
It's hard to fault somebody when they land 64% of their punches in a round, as Carl Williams did. You know, that's a good indication of where Ossie Ocasio is now compared to where he was. When I was kidding about that a little bit about that Jimmy Young fight, that was also meant as a compliment because both men had great defensive skills in those days. Ocasio never used to be hit by that many punches, and in this case he is being hit.
He's providing pretty much a stationary target for Williams too.
Another low blow by Ocasio. That was out of the eyesight of Tony Orlando. There's not a lot of fire. I have to say this. Carl Williams is performing well. There just doesn't seem to be a lot of fire in him. And it's not meant as a huge criticism, but he now is boxing to market himself as well. And I think that's kind of important. Of course, sometimes Ossie Ocasio is not the easiest man to look perfect against. I'm sure people would like to see lots of offense from Carl Williams. As he's shown in the past, we saw highlight tapes of him even only a year or two ago, throwing lots of combinations and knocking people out.
That was a bad 3-punch combination a moment ago. Uppercut and 2 shots to the body.
Certainly Carl is dominating this bout. Ocasio really content to get into a survival mode here, and that's part of the problem. More to do with him than it is Carl Williams, who is pretty much doing his work here.
Yeah, and he's been in that for the past probably 3 rounds. Crowd really getting a little restless here, and I think with good reason. No fault of Carl Williams.
No, they want to see more, and Ocasio's the man almost that has to provide it. Very tough to get Ocasio out of there. A lot of guys recently have tried, Lennox Lewis, Mercer among others, and the fights before he had this layoff.
And all the more reason you were talking about how Carl Williams has to sell himself in the knockout over Ossie Ocasio, who some of the younger fighters have not been able to knock out, would probably serve him well. But so far, it does not appear to be in the offing. End of 7, and we'll be back. Eighth round. Yes, folks, there are still 3 to go. Carl "The Truth" Williams, white trunks. Ossie Ocasio, red trunks. And Ocasio just not providing much more than being a catcher for the jabs and punches of Carl Williams. And we speak of jabs, and there you have it. And Ocasio actually landing 59 jabs to Williams, 18. Now that's one I really find hard to believe.
We may have that one.
It's backwards. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Obviously, it's Williams with the 59 jabs, and you know that percentage for him is a pretty good one.
And a lopsided win so far for Williams on your card.
Yeah, I've got Carl Williams ahead, winning all but 1 round. Nice right hand by Ocasio.
Yeah.
Remember back in that 2nd round when Ocasio hit him with that left hook? It's one moment of excitement Ocasio has provided. Nice if he tried to do that again. Nice body shot, a legal one this time by Ocasio.
Because he has gotten there a couple of times. It's more the fact that he's not trying to get there than the fact that he's not getting there.
Really not punching too often. I think maybe, you know, the more I think about it, I think he had a secret plan. He wanted to lull Carl Williams into a false sense of security, and now he's going to come on probably, right?
He's got us.
Yeah, got me lulled into it.
Yeah, that's right.
Williams trying to get that left hook in. But the right hand of Williams, tough to land against the boxer like Ocasio unless you throw the uppercut.
Well, Ocasio sure does drop that left hand. It sure looks like it's there.
Yeah, it does, and yet his head moves down just enough so the tall man can't land a straight right. There's a good example. The jabs get there, but that right after it does not. Oh, there's a wild punch by Ocasio, and Williams unable to counter him as his head comes in.
But I tell you what, this room is so, you could hear conversations in this room.
I was in a couple libraries last week. They're a little louder. Well, you know, the problem is that, in truth, Ocasio is just not able to mount much of an attack. And while Carl Williams is landing a fair amount of punches and doing some damage, he's not able to get Ocasio out. And so it's not as exciting affair as you would like.
And I can't honestly say that surprises me.
Well, no, because the major hope you would hope for, if you're going to hope for an exciting fight, was for Ocasio to do what he did in round 2 a little bit more, and or for Williams to show us a lot of dazzling combinations. He's not been able to do that, even though he has been very effective in winning. Or something like that.
Whatever you said. End of 8 rounds to a chorus of boos, which are getting a little bit stronger now.
The crowd's getting more energized in their distress.
Yeah, but we stick the jab down there sometime and then come over the top with the right hand. He don't make it down there. Jab here, then snatch the right hand over the top and hook off. Okay. All right.
I don't speak Spanish, but I would say the advice would be something like, do something! Through the first 8 rounds, Ocasio averaging almost in double digits per round. Williams, meanwhile, has landed high percentage, 45% of the 372 punches he's thrown.
Punch out. Let's go.
What round is this?
It's 17.
Well, in truth, we've had a real nice run here during the time when I was away. Wait, that doesn't speak well, does it? And also, since I got back, we've had some great fights. Okay, we admit it. This one's a clinker. What can I tell you?
Every now and then you got to have one. Makes you appreciate the others.
It does. This is true. And Carl Williams winning handily. And with the nice uppercut there by Carl Williams. That's the punch he's been trying to get in. When he was upset, of course, we remind you the last time out against Jerry Jones, and about that he certainly expected and thought he would win. We talked about Williams' conditioning. He's been in better condition, obviously, but he hasn't been tested, really, has he?
No, but I'm sure he's probably proving something to himself anyway. Here he is in the 9th round. He's no more or less effective than he was early in the fight. He's thrown probably, 50 punches around. There are about 40 punches around, 45. Doesn't seem to be particularly fatigued now, but this is not a guy who'll wear you out.
Punches, y'all. Come on, step back. Break! Step back.
Yeah. Anyway, so in this fight here with Carl Williams and Ossie Ocasio, I think in all candor that Ossie Ocasio should take this as a sign that boxing is done for him.
Right.
I don't mean that to be facetious. I really don't mean it to be facetious. I just think at this juncture, this should be an indication to him he's not going to do more than be an opponent, and not he was a good opponent in those bouts in 1990 when he lost to Lewis and lost to Mercer. Very close bouts, and lost to Mike Hunter. Here he's not been such a good opponent.
And that's pretty much vintage Carl Williams at the end of that round with 3 jabs and a right hand, and it still draws boos, as I suppose you'd have to say, well, it should, as Ocasio just going through the motions here.
You think they're going to ask us back in 6 weeks to do this again?
No.
What are the odds? They probably will. Round 10, the final round of this encounter.
Crowd breathing a collective sigh of relief. Through 9 rounds, look at the numbers, and Ocasio landed 8 in that last round. Williams doing what he has to do. There's not a lot to criticize Carl Williams about here.
No, he's gotten the job done. He's landed, you know, a good percentage, fairly good percentage of punches. Nice right hand by Ocasio. Nice left hook by Williams. Here's my scoring, obviously dominated by Carl Williams.
He had one round to Ocasio. That was the round in which he stunned Williams.
Round 2 of this match. And other than that, there's just been nothing offensive coming from Ossie Ocasio. He's not been able to get his punches going. Well, you know, what makes this bout even more dreary is it's in stark contrast to the Griffith-Myers bout, which we had earlier, which is entertaining, and everyone is throwing punches and showing lots of skills.
That was about a week ago, wasn't it?
It felt like it. The last heavyweight fight I saw was last week in Wisconsin. So Lyle McDowell and Michael Arms, a couple of heavyweights for the Wisconsin Heavyweight Championship. That was the direct antithesis of this. They both threw, they each must have thrown 80, 90 punches around and landed a lot. And we've seen some good heavyweight matches on a top rank. So it can happen, and it just sometimes you get into a situation where you get a guy like Ocasio in there who is at a certain point realizes he's beaten and is surviving, and if Carl Williams can't get him out of there, and in truth, Williams hasn't been as active in the last 5 or 6 rounds as you might like to see, then Ocasio is going to hang in there. It's going to be dreary.
I don't think this fight is going to meet with a roaring approval from the crowd here at the Taj Mahal. It isn't pretty.
No.
And it is over, and Ocasio survived. If that was his goal, no question as to the outcome. I feel quite confident in saying that.
Even Carl, you know, Carl Williams, who is an articulate, intelligent, you know, glib guy, understands. You saw the look on his face. He said, I wanted this to be a little more impressive. I wanted this to be a little more enjoyable for me and for everybody else, and it didn't work out that way. So he's not trying to kid anybody. He didn't raise his hands. He knows he won, but he put his hands in jubilation over his head.
So what's left then is the outcome as you look at Ossie Ocasio. Let's make it official. Here's Michael Buffett.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Richard Strange scores the bout 99-91. Frank Brunette scores at 97-94. Al DeVito has it 98-92 for the winner by unanimous decision, Carl the Truth Williams.
97-90.
Come at a more appropriate moment. There's the bell for the first round.
With Dave Bontempo.